Hi, I'm Chief Meteorologist Tony Petrarca of the Pinpoint 12 Forecast Center. You've clicked on the Weather Now link. We have a stormy night ahead right on through a portion of Thursday, so let's get started. Really a lot to cover, and we'll start off with high wind advisory, which is in effect for the entire area. That's the area shaded in tan, and that's the high wind warning for the areas in red. That's tonight right on through Thursday. Now, statewide and region-wide, we feel as though the gusts are going to be anywhere between 40 and 50 miles per hour, and in the areas in red, the gusts a little higher. And because the trees still have leaves on them, it's easier to knock down a tree or a branch when trees have leaves. There's more area for the wind to grab onto. So isolated power outages are possible tonight. So here's the breakdown with the threat tracker elevated for tonight through Thursday, and then back to green on Friday. So the setup here is rainfall, heavy at times. I think the heaviest rain is arriving sometime after 9-10 o'clock tonight, even though we'll have some showers early this evening. 1 to 3 inches. That may lead to some localized street flooding, strong wind gusts, especially near the coastline tonight, and then everywhere statewide on Thursday. Now, Thursday's not as wet in terms of rain amounts. I'm thinking just lighter rain showers, but the wind will still be a pretty big factor in the chance for isolated outages possible at that time as well. So the impacts, we are looking at, coastal flooding at the time of high tide. I think at this point it would be minor, but it is something that we'll watch. There is no warnings or advisories, at least for the Rhode Island coastline, but the high tide comes in around 10:15 this evening, so there may be a little bit of minor splash over, but heavy rain, no doubt, strong wind gusts. And the power outage risk, I would say slight to borderline moderate, so that's something we'll keep an eye on both tonight right on into Thursday. In the meantime, satellite and radar composite, looking at, doesn't look like much. We've got, a couple of showers trying to work in. I don't think this is really reaching the ground. The air is still dry, but as you widen out the view, you clearly see widespread soaking rain near New York City, upstate New York, and the mid-Atlantic. And that's headed our way. Thunder as well. So the setup is this. We're tracking a storm across the Great Lakes, and what will happen is a secondary storm is forming right now off the New Jersey coastline. That'll be the new and primary storm, and that'll track to the north and intensify. So watch what happens here. We've got two areas of low pressure, and this one right here off the Jersey coast will be the main one tonight. It's going to kind of absorb this one through the Great Lakes and upstate New York and kind of merge into one big strong gale center. So this is 7 o'clock in the evening, and then it's right in here, especially around the midnight hour. You take a look, it doesn't look like much, but this strip of red right in here, very torrential downpours and some strong wind. One thing I'm going to watch very closely now, this is a long shot and it's a very slight chance, is some of these thunderstorms and downpours that come through this evening, there may be some rotation. So there's a very slight risk of brief, weak tornadoes or little brief water spouts, funnels out over the ocean that come on shore. Something that we'll watch very closely. Otherwise, just regular straight line, strong wind, and some downpours take you into 7 o'clock in the morning. Now, most of the heavy rain lifts up into northern New England on Thursday, so while we do have showers in the forecast for Thursday, we're not talking about a real soaking rain, just more nuisance. I think the bigger factor on Thursday will be the wind machine as this storm cranks up in northern New England around the backside of it, so getting strong west-southwest winds. That's why the high wind advisory actually continues into Thursday morning and on into Thursday afternoon. So let's get in real close here and take a look at, we'll start off this evening. Let me get my mug out of the way here. This is 7 o'clock in the evening. Now watch the screen light up in red and orange and red and yellow. This is 10 o'clock, the rain becoming heavier. And then the reds indicating, this is 1 o'clock in the morning, downpours, thunder, very strong wind, some street flooding at this time. And that'll continue through about 3 o'clock in the morning. Now notice by 7 a.m., most of the rain, at least the heavy rain, is gone. So a bit of a lull in the morning in terms of rain, but still very windy both morning and afternoon. And then during the afternoon, we'll get some of these nuisance rain showers coming in, not quite as heavy as what will fall tonight. And then by tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock, it's mainly dry, but still on the windy and cool side. So wind gust forecast. This is 10 o'clock tonight. Now watch the areas in red, which indicate the wind speeds increasing. This Some damaging gusts are possible, and we're talking gusts between 40 and perhaps 55 miles per hour. This is midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And then as we get into Thursday morning at 8 a.m., still windy, but I think a second round of stronger wind is going to come in during the later morning and afternoon hours as well. So while we don't have much in the way of rain on Thursday, as I mentioned before, wind is it's still an issue. So for this evening, initially just light rain early, but then it really ramps up the downpours and the wind really starts to pick up as well. Looking at temperatures in the 50s and the strong gusts by 11 o'clock. And then here we are Thursday morning, strong wind gusts. There'll be a few light rain showers, but nothing real heavy. And then during the afternoon hours, occasional showers. Now, west-southwest sustained at 20 to 30, but at times we're getting gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour. So even then, some isolated damage to tree limbs and power lines possible. Cool day with temperatures in the lower 50s. So real stormy later on this evening and during the overnight. Not quite as wet in terms of rainfall amounts on Thursday, but still a very windy day. Taping this as of 4:15 in the afternoon. Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock starts. We'll have updates throughout the newscast and certainly here on WPRI.com. And this particular link, the Weather Now link. So wrapping it up, stormy night. Isolated power outages possible. Localized street flooding later on this evening. And still very windy on Thursday. If there's any good news, Friday and the weekend is actually looking okay. Of course, we'll talk more about that in Eyewitness News starting live at 5. That's the latest Weather Now update. Thanks for logging in.